Well, hello everyone, Speccy88 here and welcome to another review. And now we're taking a look at the ZX Spectrum version of International Karate Plus by System 3. Now, as people know, regular followers of my channel will know, I reviewed the superb Amiga version of IK Plus, as it's affectionately known and shortened to. And that was very good. Now we're taking, but that's a 16-bit version. Now we're taking a look at an 8-bit version. In this case, the Spectrum version. And as other people who have followed my channel will know, I also reviewed this game's predecessor on the Spectrum very recently. And to say that I wasn't massively impressed with it would be a bit of an understatement, because it was severely wanting. It seemed like it was trying to ape Way of the Exploding Fist, but due to some rather troubling issues, failed miserably. But this time we're taking a look at the sequel on the Spectrum. We got a 128K Spectrum rendition of the same music that you hear in the Amiga version, and you also get a nice rippling water effect in the background. Although, because of the Spectrum's attribute limitations, some of the detail that you saw in the Amiga version is absent here. But this is a less capable machine than the Amiga is. As I said, it's 8-bit, not 16-bit. But it does keep all three fighters in, just like the Amiga version does. So now, what's interesting is this is one of the few Spectrum games in which keyboard control is not officially possible. But I found that the key 67890, which I believe is one of the Sinclair joysticks set up, so allows for those keys. Although you have to remember which key is which, and it's quite awkward. So you can't actually officially play using keyboards, and there's no way of redefining keys in this version, unfortunately. So let's get this going. Press an N for no player. Well, I'm by myself, so I'm the one in the white gi. And the movements are exactly the same as in the Amiga version. The only thing that's making it difficult is I'm having to use these rather awkward key layouts. And I got knocked out already because I haven't filled in enough circles at the top of the screen. In fact, I didn't even so much as scrape either of the other two. Practice is definitely recommended. Shut your face. Yes. Yeah, it still seems like there's a little bit of an iffy hit detection issue, just like in the previous game, which is kind of annoying. Oh, see. But the animation's a lot better than it was in the previous game. So as I said, I'm the one in the white gi, and the ones in the black and grey gis are CPU controlled. But if there was a second player, then he or she would be controlling the one in the grey gi. Oh dear. See, look, I clearly hit that guy. Why? I was nowhere near that grey guy. See what I mean about the hit detection? I should have hit the guy in the black gi. So deflect if balls, 100 points for each of them. Well, this certainly starts off a lot slower than the Amiga version, but as I said, this is an 8-bit computer, so I'm not going to be overly critical because of that. Presumably it's going to get faster. No sound effects by the looks of things. But again, this is an 8-bit computer. The controls of this work exactly the same as the Amiga version. But this is a marked improvement over its predecessor. Just a shame about the hit detection in the combat sequences. Oh, balls! Didn't quite read that one correctly. Right, back to business again. Oh, for God's sake! Oh, yeah, I couldn't do anything about that. He kicked me just as I was getting up. There, made it onto the high score table. And again. Oh, damn it. Cock that up. Why can't I just type that? What, that hit? I'm sorry, that hit. No, then that didn't hit. See what I mean? Some of the hit detection in this is a little off. That is going to unfortunately cost it some points, despite it's noticeably slicker than the first International Karate. Oh, for God's sake, that just missed. Well, at least that actually hit. That didn't. And so that kick was there was a noticeable gap between those. Again, that foot didn't even connect him. It would have perhaps hit his wrist at the most, but it certainly wouldn't have been enough to knock him down. It is a shame that this starts off so slowly, though. This particular bonus stage. I mean, I know it's an 8-bit computer, but it is Spectrum. One thing Spectrum does very well is being fast because it devotes so little of its resources to the audio-visual aspects. Its processor speed quite often more than makes up for this limitation. And that's one of the things that gave it the edge when coping with Afterburner. And even to a certain extent, hard driving. Oh, balls! See, look, that grey kid's foot didn't. See, look, I clearly hit him, and I didn't hit him then, but still hit. That kick didn't even touch me. Oh dear! There was definitely a gap between that high kick that guy in the grey gi did on me, and see. Oh, oh God, the hit detection in this. Was it? I clearly punched him. That is such a shame because. it generally plays really well, but that hit detection is more than a little off. Let's see if I can actually key this in correctly. Yeah, he did it that time. So that's International Karate Plus, or IK Plus, for the ZX Spectrum. A marked improvement over its predecessor, without a shadow of a doubt. Graphics. Background is really nice. The fact they've even managed to do that rippling water effect, even with the Spectrum's attribute limitations, and the fact it's an 8-bit computer, is an excellent achievement. And it doesn't have the rippling water or the things like fish and the little Pac-Men and other extra bits and bobs in the background that the Amiga version did. But I'm not going to be overly critical of that, because, as I said earlier, this is an 8-bit version, and 8-bit computers were not as technically capable as their 16-bit successors. So it would be a bit unfair to compare the two. But the graphics are noticeably better than those of their predecessor, and they're a lot better animated as well. And look, they managed to get in some colour on the sensei there, and with little to no attribute clash with the problems, issues there either. Sound. Well, there's music in the background, but apart from that, there's no sound effects whatsoever. But the music is nice. It's just a shame that there are no sound effects, because it would have been nice to have had some. I know they would have been very limited, and don't expect the Enter the Dragon samples that the Amiga version had, for obvious reasons. Gameplay. Well, it is a bit of a shock that you can't officially use the keyboard, and that doesn't make the game more of a nuisance than it really needed to be. I don't know why they didn't allow for keyboard control, especially as the previous game allowed for it. I mean, they could have used a similar control layout. I mean, some of the moves have been changed over, which is good, because it makes them more intuitive than they were in the previous International Karate. But the fact you can't actually officially use keyboards, keyboard control, save for the sort of strange keyboard representations of some joystick interfaces like Cursor and one or two others, that is a bit of a downside. And the other problem is with how slow the shield bonus stage starts off going. I mean, even allowing for that this is an 8-bit version, surely it could have been made to go faster than that, because it just makes that mode rather dull, because it just takes too long to get anywhere. But the other main problem is with the hit detection. There were numerous occasions during the footage you've just seen in which a foot or fist clearly didn't quite make it to the recipient's body part or face or whatever, but the game still thought that a hit occurred. That's quite frustrating. I mean, that kick just there connected, but that one just then, there was a slight gap, so to me it sticks out like a sore thumb. See, that headbutt from the white gi in there, that demo mode clearly connected with the grey gi wearing person, but it didn't knock him down. Where's everybody gone, you cheeky barker? So yeah, the collision detection is going to impact on the score that I give this. So I'm going to give the Spectrum version of International Karate Plus 7 out of 10. it would have scored higher, mainly if it had better hit detection. But that hit detection and the fact, coupled with the fact that you can't officially use keyboard control, is rather a letdown. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that review, and I hope to catch you on another video soon. Texie88 out.